Okay. Well, good morning, and thank you for coming and bringing your works. Those who are coming in person get an extra credit. Those who don't just plain credit for doing the things. So today we will play an example of real life. We will do the same thing as researchers in their active academic life are practicing. Oh, hello, nice to see you. The research projects, either in class or in professional life, gives satisfaction to the author, eventually gives help to the globe, saving the world, and has some industrial benefits. But in order to be recognized, in order to be patented and go to industry, or in order just to be accepted as a correct thing between other scientists, everything researchers are doing is going through peer review process. So it is how things are arranged. And while sitting in the desk and writing something, I may think, oh, there will be like 80 years old genius who will read what I'm doing and accepting or rejecting. Typically, the works are sent out for review to peers, to people of the same level of career and experience. And the idea is that the peers at the same level of career and experience need to recognize that something that they are offered to review is worth of accepting. And then editors administer this editors administer this suggestions and then reply with a decision to the actual authors. So you have, as I see, completed drafts and printed them, and today we will mimic this activity so that each of us will play double role, one as author submitting paper manuscript to a journal, and second as a reviewer who will be assigned by editor to serve as a reviewer to others. So the organization of today's meeting will be as follows. So at the end, we will spend about 10, each of us will do 2 reviews, 10 minutes per review. And before that, first like 20 minutes, we will make some organizational efforts, discussing and explaining what is going on. So when it will be time for reviewing, before going to actual review, we will mimic submission of a manuscript to a journal. So we will organize 3 scientific journals, and based on the content of your work, you will submit to one or another. And there will be guest editors of these journals. So let me introduce them right away, and then I will go more to details. So those who are dealing with photochemistry on one or other aspect will be graded and edited by Dr. Yoon Han. So please join me. Thank you for helping. And those who deal with angular momentum, rotational motion, and magnetism will be edited and graded by doctoral candidate Stephen Westra. And there will be thermal activated reactions. If no guest editors will show up, then I will serve this role. You do not need to upload to. Okay, so I'll spend 5-10 minutes explaining the procedure. Then we will set up the editorial offices in form of like 3 tables. And then you will be submitting and getting back things from the editorial offices. Okay. So it will be Journal of Angular Momentum by Steven Westra. Journal of Reactions, I will substitute the editor myself, and Journal of Photochemistry. So here is the secret schematic diagram that you are not expected to see. It's just a suggestion who submits where and how editors will process your submissions. And here are some criteria what we all are expected to write down. So plan on spending about 10 minutes, which is very realistic. It happens in a real life. Even very important works, typically reviewers are under pressure of circumstances and just do not have luxury to spend more than 10 minutes. And what you're doing, you reading through. If you like or do not like something, you are marking it with red or making comments on the margins, as typically reviewers are doing. And then please follow the request of editors. It happens in real life. You submit paper to the journal, and then editor sends it to someone for review and ask, please answer the following questions, telling how meritorious is the work. And here is the compilation of such questions. So most important thing is to give recommendation. What is your recommendation that editor will approve or not approve and forward to the author? Like publish in current form, reject and tell that it is not worth of any size. And what is typically happens, those are very rare. Typically it's either major or minor revision. And so next thing, while serving as reviewers, please try to summarize in 1 sentence or less, like maybe 10 words, what the paper is about. When we had last lab on Wednesday, I remember there was a discussion between Nate and Joshua. So they were trying to understand each other. What was actually the goal? What was actually computed? So you see, it is typical thing that message is lost in transmission. By writing something, the reader may misinterpret it. And if the reader, the reviewer, summarizes what he or she understood, then later on this form will return to the author. The author will see how the reader misinterpreted the original writing and correct the actual thing. So formatting, like either address where to send the correspondence. So introduction. Is it clear who needs this research? Is there a big picture? Is it for pharmacy, for industry, for semiconductors? Other motivations, other credits to other people, other challenges. Again, returning to the same question. What was the reason to start this research? Is everything is clear or something is unknown to anyone in the world? So formulating challenge is good. And if you see it, mark it. Hypothesis. It's very meritorious if the work is formulated in terms of hypothesis. So if you see this word, give a credit or repeat what was the hypothesis. Which audience? Is it only for students in this class, or we can go to New York Times, or we should go to best scientific journals and everyone will enjoy reading? So it's important that to help author to realize whom he was writing to based on the point of view of a reviewer. Quality of figures. If we're going to get income by selling your works, they should be high quality, like fonts big, lines thick, no gray background, white background. If you see that some figures do not have labels, units, no captions, give a reprimand to the author. So captions. If by reading on figure and reading the caption, you still do not know what is shown, just complain to the author. Okay. Logical connection is my weakest was my weakest part when I was a student, and it pursues me for years. So do you see how parts of the work that you're grading connected to each other? Is it just a collection of random figures and sentences, or they have some logical stream connecting from one to each other? If you see that removing or adding something is critically important, give recommendations to the author. Maybe sometimes swapping two paragraphs makes a brilliant impression. Everything reads much better. If there are no conclusions, complain. If there are conclusions, tell. If there is a report of challenge and hypothesis being addressed, does this work gives any new knowledge? And it is maybe one of the important things graded in the big life is the research generated new knowledge. And the best emotional impression of a reviewer is a healthy feeling of being jealous. Like, oh, it's so nice project. Why didn't I do it myself? And if you feel it, do not hesitate to write it. It's probably the best way to give credit to the author. And maybe you can borrow something for your own project. Maybe there are future directions. Maybe something from this paper can be useful for general public. Okay. And results, like other results. And do you see mechanisms of elementary processes explained? Is there coherency between figures and their explanation in text? So in previous years, some first drafts did have results section consisting only of figures and no text. It's in the community, it's not acceptable. It should be something that one can read continuously. And methods, there is always a temptation to skip methods until methods were published or were used by years before. But in order for reader of this specific paper to help a reader to understand what is done, to help a reader potentially to reproduce results, to help to understand how the definitions of different components are done, what is a connection between calculations and the figures, it is very good style to give key equations. And in the equations, explain what symbols are. So if there are no equations, complain. If equations are not clear, complain. And as a maybe over the head, too much to request, but one can judge why the methods are chosen. Are they trustable? And is it enough to reproduce these results? Okay, other questions on the grading form? No? Accepting? So we will set up 3 desks. We will put names of the journals in them, and then procedure is as follows. A researcher will bring a paper to the desk, which symbolizes submission. Then the editor will attach a form to the paper and decide who in the community could be a most applicable reviewer of this paper, and distributes paper and the form to a researcher who serves a role of a reviewer. And then after the same is repeated for second and third paper, and then in true life, editors make a verdict, like in a court. Our editors have right to do so, but typically verdict is either minor or major revision. And after making this verdict, the editors return the graded paper and form to the author. And the main idea that the final draft of the papers will be due on Monday, based on the implementation of the feedback that you hear from the editor and the reviewers. Is the procedure more or less clear? Okay. So let's see which colors we have. From now on, everyone in this room is consecrated into scientific reviewers. Like if it will be a knighthood, it will be a sword with on the shoulder. You're a reviewer now. You're a reviewer now. Just in case you already have the red. Okay. You're a reviewer. You're a reviewer. Just in case. So we are going to bring a couple of tables to the front. Maybe one more. Sure, no one occupies this one. Yeah, I think there are three, and we need two chairs. Dr. Hunt, maybe take the place in the center. Stephen. So here are the titles of the journals, right? And we can consult together which journal to submit. The forms. Okay. So who believes that he or she did something on angular momentum and magnetism? Okay, please submit all your 3 copies to the editor. And in the real life, typically it's like polite letter. Dear editor, my paper presents new scientific results. Please consider it for your journal. Okay. Who? Huh? 3 copies. Yep, you can return and wait until you are called to serve as a editor. So who else worked on atoms or molecular 2-dimensional atom? I think it relates to magnetism and atoms. You would probably, if you want to do something else, feel free, but it looks quite reasonable. Okay, and to finish with the, so we all try to avoid unnecessary contact if there are some schedule conflicts. So I'm serving as an agent of my society. So dear editor, she's submitting the work to here. Now, who believes that his or her work relates to photochemistry? Okay, please submit it to the Journal of Photochemistry. Okay. And everyone else is welcome to submit to me. So this chart is for editors only, but we try to be quick. So here is a secret chart suggesting who should serve as a reviewer. And then review editor writes a polite letter to reviewers. Dear expert in the field, based on your schedule convenient to the best possible timeline, please review and submit the report. Yes, please begin immediately as you get your assignments. The arrow is wrong. It should go this way. Otherwise, it will be. No, everything's correct. No corrections. Looks like you're getting more than you have discounted. No, it's marked as to you. Let's keep it here. I'll try to figure it out. You get just one. Did you get one? One? It will be like contested, whoever will be first. That's right. This one is easy. This one is hard. Whoever will be first. I did send it electronically. Okay. Okay, so I think we are over time. Some of you may have other duties. So who has completed one review? Who has completed two reviews? Who needs to depart urgently to another meeting? Okay, so you're welcome to stay and edit a little bit longer, but note that at noon we can be kicked out by the next class. So try to speed up and complete reading to the best possible. And do not worry, it is a typical situation in the real life. So when it's too much deadline and maybe like write a half of review or express general impression, like it is brilliant and should be published at this, or it is very hard to read, I will improve substantially. I'll start reading it. Pick it up from you when you're ready. Okay. Did you go? Oh.
I finished most.
Okay. Then if there is at least one person who needs to go to a class, did you got it from me? Okay, then return it where you got. And yeah, then we will do in a couple of minutes to return your feedback.
Okay.
Did you do another?
That was the other one.
Oh, you got the other one?
Yeah.
Do this one at home and send it to the author.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Am I good to go?
Wait, you need to you wait until you get your feedback. So let's see. Is it your personal review, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's try to implement anything they recommended.
What should I do with this?
Just give it to me and I will find a way to distribute. Wait, do you need to go to class right now? Okay, then just so that we do it without rush, sit and wait, we'll administer.
Do I just email the review to you or
To me and
to
to
the
the
author?
to me and to the author, both CC.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, thank you, Mai. And Stephen will help to pass reviews to you for your work.
Sounds good.
One is done. Wait. Oh no, he. Is there something that you have finished? Ready? No, it's for you. You are a reviewer from now on for the rest of the life. I gave it to other poets. Just administer those, collect them, distribute it back. Nate will do this atomic thing. If you will want here. Ready? Okay. So in real life, you start receiving less and less polite emails once per 2 days, once per day, once per hour, telling you your review is overdue. Is there something? Let's give it to him. You can do it at home and email to the author. Because you can start now, but do not plan to finish it because we all are about to depart. It's for you. Just wait to get your feedback. Huh? There will be more. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think most of us are done. Let's wrap up. This is already yours, right? Just keep sitting. The editors will distribute. Okay. I think it's enough. Time is more important than completion. Okay. Oh, you're feeling so responsible because you're nearby. Okay, so now editors thank the reviewers for their work. Sometimes if you review more than 10, you get a plaque in the real life. And reviews go back to the authors. So authors, please distribute back, okay. Even if it is incomplete. So the authors are invited to implement changes as much as possible and submit the final draft on the by Monday. Okay. Everyone done? Everyone got their feedback? Yes. Yes. Okay, so meeting is done. Looking forward to see you on Monday and the final versions. And let's thank the editors, guest editors once again. Yes, email. Email in the Microsoft Word form, because there will be, I will hire a little local company and they will make adjustments for the like page numbers and thanks. Thank you much. Oh, okay. Huh? If you have energy, you can try to do it at home and email directly to the author, but it's second priority. First priority is to finish your own work. Okay. But you can keep it. In